Wikileaks has just dropped a massive amount of information revealing the US Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA's capabilities that rival that of the NSA when spying on you and your family. Hey everyone, my name is Ethan and welcome to a brand new video. Today guys, Wikileaks has treated the world to another leak from the US government, from another US government agency, the CIA, or the US Central Intelligence Agency, codename Vault 7 by Wikileaks. This is what they've been tweeting about in the past couple of months, and this is basically, it's called Year Zero. The document, or the first part of this series, is called Year Zero, which comprises 8,761 documents and files from an isolated high-security network situated inside the CIA's Center for Cyber Intelligence in Langley, Virginia. It follows an introductory disclosure last month of CIA targeting French political parties and candidates in the lead up to the 2012 presidential election. This goes all the way back to 2001. So recently, the CIA lost control of the majority of its hacking arsenal, including malware, viruses, trojans, weaponized zero-day exploits, malware remote control systems, and associated documentation. This extraordinary collection, which amounts to more than several 100 million lines of code, gives its processor the entire hacking capacity of the CIA. The archive appears to have been circulated among former US government hackers and contractors in an unauthorized manner, one of whom has provided Wikileaks with portions of the archive. So before I get into more information, this is a group of former US government hackers that now have the capabilities of the CIA's hacking arsenal. Only one of them has come forward to tell Wikileaks about it, and he hasn't said that he's not hacking people using this, okay? This is non-government individuals, civilians with extreme hacking capabilities, and I'll tell you what kind of hacking and the kind of hacking the CIA is apparently doing that you should be concerned about in regards to your TV, your phone, your computer, your home telephone, everything. So let's move on. Year Zero introduces the scope and direction of the CIA's global covert hacking program, its malware arsenal, and dozens of zero-day weaponized exploits against a wide range of US and European company products, including your Apple iPhone, Google's Android, Microsoft Windows, and even Samsung smart TVs, which are turned into covert microphones. This is all of your latest tech, all of your modern technology that the CIA has developed, backdoors into malwares and other viruses to turn on your microphone without you knowing, to send them dump data from your text messages or your emails, and also to even use your camera in the case of like your iPhone, your Google's Android. Obviously the Google Android, the Android operating system, is used on a series of different phones. So since 2002, the CIA has gained political and budgetary preeminence over the US National Security Agency, which is the NSA, which we all know used to be listening into Skype calls and so on and so on. The CIA found itself building not just its now infamous drone fleet, but a very different type of covert, global spanning force, its own substantial fleet of hackers. The agency's hacking division freed it from having to close its often controversial operations to the NSA, its primary bureaucratic rival, in order to draw on the NSA's hacking capabilities. So what becomes scary about this situation, guys, is that beforehand, the CIA would report to the NSA, and the NSA, obviously, it collects all the information. It spies on your citizens, it spies on the government, and it reports back to the top branch of government. The NSA is also bound by certain regulations that are specific for the NSA and what it does. Now that the CIA is capable of the same covert watching of citizens, but that are not bound to the same laws and regulations that the NSA are, it's essentially take the NSA, remove all of its regulations, and that's what the CIA currently has the ability to do. They don't have to answer to anyone in the way that they obtain their information from you. So in a statement, the WikiLeaks source details policy questions that they say urgently need to be debated in public, including whether the CIA's hacking capabilities exceed its mandated powers and the problem of public oversight of the agency. The source wishes to initiate a public debate about the security, creation, use, proliferation, and democratic control of cyber weapons. So the source who has given this to WikiLeaks really wants the public to get involved, and they want debates, they want discussion, and they want the CIA to answer for what it is doing. The CIA should not be able to do this without restriction. So let's go on to what they are actually capable of. So by the end of 2016, the CIA's hacking division, which formerly falls under the agency's Center for Cyber Intelligence, the CCI, had over 5,000 registered users and had produced more than 1,000 hacking systems, trojans, viruses, and other weaponized malware. Such is the scale of the CIA's undertaking that by 2016, its hackers had utilized more code than that was used to run Facebook. The CIA had created, in effect, its own NSA, which is why they do not answer to the NSA when doing this hacking. With even less accountability and without publicly answering the questions as to whether such a massive budgetary spend on duplicating the capacities of a rival agency could be justified. So, Americans, you're always whinging about the fact that your country has no money. Why is your government spending its money on creating 2 NSAs? Why not just have one, huh? Alrighty, so with a bit of an overview of the entire situation completed, let's have a look at specifically who and what the CIA has been doing with this technology. Now, there's going to be a lot of abbreviations in this and a lot of department names. So the wikileaks.org for this is actually linked in the description below, and I strongly suggest that you go and read it for yourself, because in case I explain something wrong or you misunderstand something, you should definitely go and check your facts. Like with all of these things, the link is in the description. Go and do that for yourself. So, CIA malware and hacking tools are built by the EDG, which is the Engineering Development Group, a software development group within the CCI, which is the Center for Cyber Intelligence, which we mentioned earlier, a department belonging to the CIA's DDI, the Directorate for Digital Innovation. The DDI is one of 5 major directorates of the CIA. See this organizational chart for the CIA's more details. So there is a chart there. One of the big things that makes it very difficult to follow who is doing what wrong is because there are so many different departments. It's a mess. So the EDG is responsible for the development, testing, and operational support of all backdoors, exploits, malicious payloads, trojans, viruses, and any other kind of malware used by the CIA in its covert operations worldwide. Now, each of these things have their own specific uses and functionality. So a backdoor, an exploit, and a malicious payload are all going to be different. And if you're really interested, look up each one in particular. Backdoor is obviously a way to directly access a code or a system without needing any trojans or viruses. It's essentially a gap in the security that you can essentially walk through, just like a backdoor. The increasing sophistication of surveillance techniques has drawn comparisons with George Orwell's 1984, which is a book that most people here in Australia read in high school as an English assignment. It's a dystopian world where all of the Americans give up their free rights and there's no color. They all take pills and stuff so they don't feel any emotion. They just work, and they're at war with like China or Japan because those people still have free will and get to do whatever they want. It's a fantastic book. And ever since Donald Trump became president, it was actually skyrocketed to one of the best sellers. So you might want to get your hands on it. Grab the ebook or something, check it out. But Weeping Angel, developed by the CIA's Embedded Devices Branch, the EDB, which infests smart TVs. This is your Samsung smart TV that have come out in like maybe the last 5 years or so. Very intelligent, all have their own cameras, microphones, they can browse the internet. Transforming them into covert microphones is surely the most emblematic realization. So the attack against Samsung's smart TVs was developed in cooperation with the United Kingdom's MI5, or the BTSS. After infestation, Weeping Angel places the target's TV in a fake off mode, so they're running up your power bill while they're spying on you guys. so that the owner falsely believes the TV is off when it is on. In fake off mode, the TV operates as a bug, recording conversations in the room and sending them over the internet to a covert CIA server. So obvious way to deal with this one is unplug your TV, don't connect your TV to the internet. If you do connect it to the internet, also turn off your router because they can also infect your router. As of October 2014, the CIA was also looking at infecting the vehicle control systems used by modern cars and trucks. The purpose of such control is not specified, but it would permit the CIA to engage in nearly undetectable assassinations. Now, that sounds like some real futuristic stuff, but you also have to remember that self-driving cars are on the road right now. Self-driving cars were on the road in 2015. They've been on the road for years, and they have a control system based on the internet, and malwares will be able to affect these control systems and their mapping systems. Despite the iPhone's minority share of 14.5% of the global smartphone market in 2016, a specialized unit of the CIA's mobile development branch produces malware to infest, control, and exfiltrate data from iPhones and other Apple products running iOS, such as iPads. The CIA's arsenal includes numerous local and remote zero days, developed by the CIA or obtained from the GCHQ, NSA, FBI, or purchased from cyber-arm contractors such as Bait Shop. The disproportionate focus on iOS may be explained by the popularity of the iPhone among social, political, diplomatic, and business elites. So even though it's a smaller market, with very important people using the iOS, they want to spy on those people. A similar unit targets Google's Android, which is used to run the majority of the world's smartphones, 85%. So Google's Android operating system is used in the Samsung, the HTC, and Sony phones. Billions of Android-powered phones were sold last year. Year zero shows that as of 2016, the CIA had 24 weaponized Android zero days, which it has developed itself and obtained from the GCHQ, NSA, and cyberarm contractors. So these techniques permit the CIA to bypass the encryption of WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, Weibo, Confide, and Cloakman by hacking the smartphones that they run on and collecting audio and message traffic before encryption is applied. Now, if you were ever one of the people stupid enough to think that WhatsApp's encryption was actually going to protect you, you need to realize that the iPhone has to process all of the characters you put in before they can be encrypted. All you have to do is record the input, just like a keylogger on a computer, before it gets encrypted. That shouldn't have been a hard one for people to figure out. But yes, the CIA is also doing that, apparently, to your phones. Moving on to malware targets for the Windows, the OS, Linux, and routers, meaning is that basically all operating systems are covered by 0 days and viruses such as Hammer Drill, which infects software distributed on CDs, DVDs. Luckily, nobody in 2017 uses CDs or DVDs. Infectors for removable media such as USBs. Unfortunately, they can put viruses on your USB so you can transfer it from computer to computer yourself. Systems to hide data in images or in covert disk areas, which is the Brutal Kangaroo, great name, and to keep its malware infestations going. So something that a lot of people don't know about malwares in general is that when a DDoSing company is going to use their internet connection to take down another website, or you purchase a DDoSing company to take down somebody else's internet, what they do is they're essentially infecting multiple computers, well, actually hundreds of thousands of computers worldwide, and using those computers to send packets as their DDoS message. This makes it harder to track where the DDoS is coming from, and it makes it more reliable as they don't need to purchase their own machines. They can simply infect yours. So what happens is some kid tries to download some special video game hack or pornography or something like that, and their computer gets infected by a malware virus, be it by the CIA or some random person on the internet that nobody likes. Then they put a USB into their computer to take some photos to their friend's house, put it into their friend's computer. Both computers are now infected and can be accessed remotely by whoever it is that created such malware. The CIA has developed automated multi-platform malware attack and control systems covering Windows, Mac, OS X, Solaris, Linux, and more, such as EDB's Hive, and the related cutthroat and swindle tools, which are described in the examples section below. So if you want to know more information about how your computer could be in danger, check out the link in the description, as it will go over more specifics and you can read up on everything yourself. So with this massive data dump and all the information, names, and strange words that you possibly have never heard of that I have just thrown at you, how can I summarize this so that anybody can understand and anybody can protect themselves from such an attack? Now, I'm not a computer whiz kid or anything like that, but I do know the basics of when it comes to pirating, downloading, doing things that are just genuinely stupid on the internet, and ways that you can get malwares. So let me go over this in the most simple way that I can for anybody who doesn't know a lot about computers. Essentially, what is currently being done is the CIA is developing programs that hide themselves on your phone, your TV, or on your computer in the form of a program, an app. A picture is another one that can do it. It's a lot more complicated. Your TV now has apps, all these sort of things, jailbreaking a phone, so on and so on, can create backdoors, malwares, and viruses on your device, which then can be used to do things even while your phone is locked. Maybe your computer's in sleep mode. It's not really in sleep mode. Your TV is pretending to be turned off. The camera is turned on. And what they're doing is they're accessing your webcams, your microphones. They're getting text dumps from your text messaging history. Say you use your phone to have a conversation on Twitter, they can still download that information. Say it's in your Twitter DMs. If you're using something like WhatsApp, they can record things before it gets encrypted. Essentially anything that you're doing on an information device like an iPad, an iPhone, a computer, or a TV can be tracked by someone, because the data exists. The TV has to communicate with the internet to get the information. That communication can be tracked. That communication can be recorded. And what the CIA has done is created hundreds of thousands of tools that are constantly evolving and constantly changing, and they're using them to basically spy on everyone, to record things about everyone. And they're not being picky with this. They're recording things on everyone, because your next door neighbor might be a perfectly normal guy right now, but in 5 years' time, he might end up being a terrorist, or he might end up being a mass murderer or something like that. And recording his conversations for the last 5 years could, they think, give them some sort of insight into that person and possibly help them prevent the attack from happening. Now, I personally don't like the idea of being watched. I don't have my microphone turned on when I'm not using my computer. I unplug everything. I don't have my microphone, my webcam connected whenever I'm using it. Most of the time that I'm on the internet, I use at least one VPN. That way that no one can see where my internet is coming from. Although figuring out where a VPN is coming from is an easy task. It's a lot more likely that they're going to spy on people around me who don't use VPNs. What a VPN is, it's something that tricks the internet into thinking your internet is coming from somewhere else. So in order to keep yourself safe from these sort of things, there's the golden rule is don't download anything from the internet that isn't an official thing. Like, you know what Google Chrome looks like, you know what a game client looks like, and you know what a Twitter client looks like. If you're going to download Twitter onto your phone, download the one that was published by the Twitter Corporation. Don't download the special Twitter one that also gives you 100 extra emojis, because you don't know who made that. It's very easy to make smart decisions on the internet and not find yourself under attack. But then at the same time, if you're a uni student or a school student, also be careful who plugs their USB into your computer. You never know what stupid decisions they have made on the internet, and you shouldn't have to suffer for somebody else's inability to keep themselves safe. There's antiviruses out there that you can pay for, but most people who know what they're doing on the internet don't really need an antivirus these days, which again is probably something the CIA is taking advantage of. You don't know which antivirus programs out there that are free that could also be run by one of these agencies and be designed to spy on you. The whole idea of this document is to get people talking about the issue so that we can figure out what is and what isn't happening, what we should be afraid of, what we shouldn't be afraid of, and anything that we could do to keep ourselves safe, because they have no reason to spy on us, especially their own citizens. And in February, the Trump administration has issued an executive order calling for a cyber war review to be prepared within 30 days, meaning around the time that this video has gone up, there's hopefully a review on the cyber war coming from the CIA, the NSA, everything going to the Trump administration, and possibly some changes will be made. I don't believe that Trump is a good person. I believe that he will allow this to keep happening. And for that, I will continue to cloak myself the best I can on the internet, be wary of what I download, and I believe that you and everybody you know should do the same as well. When it comes to pirating films and programs and things like that, that's where you're the most at risk. And you should be careful whenever you're illegally downloading anything, and you should never admit to illegally downloading anything. Guys, there's a lot more information about this topic, and I cannot fit it all into a reasonable length video. So go ahead and check out the links in the description below and read up on everything that you can. There is a redaction section and a FAQ towards the bottom of the document that you may find very, very helpful, as it has a lot of the standard questions that you should read up on. But like always, guys, if this video was informative and you did enjoy it, please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this situation. Let me know where you stand on the spying of citizens, because the CIA spying on people could stop terror attacks, but at the same time, they're spying on you. So it's very easy to lean either way, and I think it's a very touchy subject, and I think this Wikileaks is very important in having the public discuss what they think is and is not okay. Thanks for watching today's video, guys, and I will see you all next time.